1 o'clock hour of three-man front. It has been 3 hours of fast-paced news. The breaking news earlier today, and it happened in the early part of the show. Alabama star guard Aiden Holloway arrested on felony drug charges. A Tuscaloosa County police spokesperson said Holloway was arrested this morning, Monday morning, and transported to the county jail after agents with the West Alabama Narcotics Task Force searched a residence near Alabama's campus and, quote, recovered more than a pound of marijuana, paraphernalia, and cash. He's been charged with first-degree possession of marijuana and a failure to affix a tax stamp. His bond was set at $5,000, but we have received reports that he is bonded out of jail.
At 10:45 this morning.
Per Alabama law, the possession charge can carry a penalty of up to 10 years in jail and a fine of $15,000. He scored 18 points just this past Friday in the 1-point loss to Ole Miss.
Vegas has responded. It has fallen by a half point from 13 down to 12.5.
Their Sweet 16 odds. To reach the Sweet 16, though, they're still with the 14th best odds, according to Bet Online. But, Conrad, you did make a good point, and this is not to throw a wet blanket over everything, but given this particular team and potentially who that matchup in the Sweet 16 would be, a 1-seed Michigan, probably think reaching the Sweet 16 with this particular team, satisfactory.
Yeah, that's probably your ceiling, just simply based on the matchup. And the reality of it is, look, you should be able to beat Hofstra with or without Aiden Holloway. That shouldn't matter. Again, he's an important piece of the team, but I'm just saying the talent, regardless of if he's available or not, you should still be able to beat Hofstra. Now, Texas Tech, if that's who you face in the round of 32, that might be a different a situation there. But, yeah, I think regardless of if you had Aiden available or not, going up against Michigan and the size and athleticism that they have, that's not a good matchup for Alabama.
Yeah, this is pretty amazing. So he was booked this morning at 9:48 a.m., and at 10:45 he was free.
That's not shocking to me.
No, that's a. And come in, can I make a quick phone call?
Mm-hmm.
Or all of that's going on close to campus. Everybody know that that's where Aiden lives. Somebody's going to have to go bail him out of jail.
So on a bond like that, what is that, 10 or 20%?
Oh, I don't know.
That you have to
of the $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so we're talking $500 or $1,000. Yeah, that he was out of there. That's nothing for that.
Not with the cash they seized, though.
No, that could not go towards the getting bailed out, I don't think.
While you're labeling all of that, could you grab a couple of G's?
Yeah, I don't think that's how that one works.
And we don't know how much cash was found.
That could have been two things.
Well, it could have been, but you got to be careful here. I did not see intent to distribute on the charges. Did you?
I have not seen that, no. It was possession of marijuana, paraphernalia, and then failure to apply the tax stamp.
Which can apply to narcotics, such in this case, but also in tobacco and other things here in the state of Alabama. 800-239-WJOX. We'll got a ton of more texts that we'll get to as well on the text line. But Adam is in Pelham. He wants to comment on Aiden Holloway and the arrest. Adam, welcome in.
What's up, guys?
Hey, man. How are you?
Let's face it, the biggest scumbag in college basketball is not going to suspend him. If he didn't suspend a guy for bringing a murder weapon to a crime scene, to a murder, he ain't going to suspend this guy over nothing.
Do you think the university steps in and suspends him?
Oh, I'm just talking about Nate Oates.
Oh, I know.
He's not going to suspend him. He probably bailed him out.
Don't know that to be the case. We haven't heard anything from Nate Oates. But you're just going back on how he treated the whole incident with Miles, right?
Yes.
And Brandon Miller's involvement.
Biggest scumbag in basketball.
Well, we got a lot of that sentiment. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Love you guys.
Hey, thank you, Adam. Appreciate the phone call.
I would just remind everybody, again, I know we've gotten a lot of text on it. You can think what you want about the situation. I know people have made up their minds a long time ago. Brandon Miller was never charged with anything. That is the difference in this situation. And Aiden Holloway has been charged with a crime. Brandon Miller was never charged with a crime.
Yes. Now, I do know that, and I'm going to compare because we saw it before the start of the football season. Auburn had a football player that got pulled over with a sizable amount of marijuana in their vehicle. And I think that they determined at that point, if I can remember, it was intent to distribute in the charges that we initially got. That's why I'm asking. And I'll add to that point saying in that particular case, that player never saw the field. I don't even know if they even participated in anything during that time, and they're no longer with the team. This is different.
It's all bad, but yes, it is.
But still,
different.
Charges say that whatever they're charging him with, that is a felony, and then a couple in this case. So a lot to weigh out, and something that Nate Oates, I'm sure, did not want to have to deal with, or was expecting to deal with, or what? How much of this did they know about? Because going back to last week, we got someone that texted us during the show. We were at Social Taco, and we didn't go on the air with it because we hear rumors all the time, and you certainly don't want to be irresponsible in putting that out there and casting Aiden Holloway in a negative light. But it was, hey, did you guys hear about maybe a traffic stop and then finding him on possession? We could not. Nobody could verify any of that. But now we're getting word that maybe there was a traffic stop last week, and this is potentially linked to that.
That is the speculation.
Said that would be what allowed maybe a warrant to be obtained to
Or
search his
for probable
property.
cause.
Or just
Yes.
communication between law enforcement.
Correct.
Saying, hey, you might want to. Or this could be task force involved leads me to believe that this is something bigger than Aiden Holloway.
Yes, you're going after the big fish, kingpin, whatever term you want to give. Yes. All speculatory.
It is.
So Alabama is a 4 seed in the upcoming NCAA basketball tournament. They will play Hofstra coming up on Friday. Auburn has accepted a bid to play in the NIT. That is tomorrow night at 9 o'clock against South Alabama. Auburn has been installed as an 18.5-point favorite against the Jags. Last night in the World Baseball Classic, man, so much was talked about. Both teams, both lineups. This was going to be just an explosion of offense. One team averaged 10 runs a game. The other averaged 8 runs a game. And we got 3 total runs last night. Solo home runs by the Americans. Selma's own Gunnar Henderson. He goes yard to tie the game. Roman Anthony, the 21-year-old phenom for the Boston Red Sox. He goes yard. He's the youngest player ever to hit a home run in the World Baseball Classic. 21 years old.
So I had this question because I know we talked about it a little bit with DeRosa, and we had a lot of fun with him not knowing the tiebreaker rules and all that stuff. But I will say, I thought last night, in terms of changing the lineup a little bit, the way he managed the pitching staff, I thought that was a better moment for him. Did that change your opinion on Mark DeRosa at all?
No,
not
at all.
Okay.
Because I think what had happened last week, it caused him to react and actually do what he needed to do the right way last night in regards to the batting order. Aaron Judge, that throw from right field to nail Tatis, and I love Henderson's tag. That was a little bit harder than normal.
Well, and they brought up a great point on the post-game show where they said that throw, if you kind of watch the way that the DR managed base running the rest of the game, that kind of caused them at times to not send runners because of the throw that Aaron Judge made. So that may have ultimately been something that...
No, that was big.
That was massive, yeah.
Paul Skeens, 4 1/3 innings pitched. He gave up that home run on that slider. But you cannot say enough about the USA bullpen last night. 4 2/3 innings pitched, no earned runs, 1 base on ball, 6 strikeouts. And I want to give a shout out to David Bednar. He continues to find himself in trouble out of the USA bullpen, but he has a 0 ERA in 4 games. He has struck out 8, and he's walked no one. But here's the stat. Runners in scoring position, oppositions are hitting 1 for 8 against him with runners in scoring position. He's got 5 strikeouts with runners in scoring position. So he's been able to wiggle out of it, and that was big last night. But if you add up the big boys in that Dominican lineup, and I'm talking about Tatis, Soto, Guerrero, and Machado, they collectively went 3 for 16 last night with 4 strikeouts. If you neutralize those guys,
Yep.
that was the key to the America's success against the DR. And you can cry all you want to about the umpiring, but I could cite 2 or 3 at-bats, whether it's Will Smith, who there was some questionable calls on a couple of his plate appearances, Bryce Harper, there was a couple calls. That's just baseball. It happens both ways. Just so happens that it happened to be the 27th out of the game in which it happened. Was it a low strike? Yes, absolutely. Now,
I contend, though, where it broke across the plate and then where it was caught, and then he immediately moved the glove up is not as low as maybe. He should have been swinging.
Mm-hmm.
That situation, he's challenged you with fastballs. You've been staying alive, fouling them off, and you didn't think that he was going to pull the string, and he did.
But to hear all the people on social media, it's just a travesty that the game ended like this.
Oh, shut up.
I mean, come on. Like, seriously? Now, the next time that
But nobody wants to have a problem with a guy born in Tampa being the hero for Team Italy.
Well, Manny Machado's playing for the Dominican Republic. He went to a private school in Miami. It's not like he was hanging out on the island of Dominican Republic.
Well, they even brought it up during the game when Roman Anthony hit that home run. Italy had called him and asked him to be on their team. He said no. And then when the U.S. called him, he said yes.
Yeah.
Glad he said yes to us.
No.
Even if he plays for an evil organization, but it paid off last night.
Wow.
Evil?
Yeah, the Red Sox, yeah, evil.
I had my fantasy baseball draft last night. I'm dialed in.
Yeah, you sent me your roster.
I did.
You're in a good spot.
So the question is, if the United States plays Venezuela, who's Landrum pulling for?
Come on.
Is he pulling for the United States, or is he pulling for Ronald Acuna Jr.?
I'm not like some people. No. It's my country. Just hope Ronnie doesn't get hurt.
I was just going to say, has the worst case scenario of never mind. We don't have to go down that road. You probably already thought about it.
How about when Rodriguez got hit last night?
What's the worst case?
Venezuela wins, but Acuna gets injured in the process. And then America loses and the Braves lose, ultimately.
When I drafted Acuna first on my draft, I totally expect him not to finish the season.
But if he does, he's going to be great.
Here's to hoping, right? But yeah, there's no decision to be made. All USA.
I was just making sure.
Yeah.
I did not realize that the Cardinals do have a player playing on Italy.
Who is it?
Sagis.
Oh.
Yeah. I saw him in the dugout over the weekend. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot.
I feel like we want to play Italy in the championship, right? Because we want the revenge to be able to
Yes.
right the wrong of the one loss that we picked up. That's what we're pulling for, right?
I was set that we were going to face Japan.
Yeah, I think we all assume that.
And probably lose to Japan. Oh, this changes things. This is a revenge game now.
So Italy and Venezuela tonight. If you got a dangerous tree leaning over your house or maybe branches blocking your view, call Golston Tree Service today, 205-337-4443. Golston's licensed pros. They handle everything from trimming and pruning to full tree removals, fast, safe, and affordable. Don't wait until the next storm causes you damage. Call Golston Tree Service. Golston also offers 24-hour emergency tree service. So when it comes to your trees, don't risk it. Call Golston Tree Service, 205-337-4443.
Well, if you ever get arrested for having a pound of weed or more in your possession, we have a lot of great Jocks listeners that can give you some advice. We'll get to some of that advice next on Three Man Front. 119 three-man front reaction Monday. We were reacting to start the show about the NCAA Tournament field, Alabama's matchup, taking on Hofstra. Had some comments from Nate Oates. Then we had breaking news. Aiden Holloway arrested this morning. He is bonded out, but his fate not only legally in the court system here in the state of Alabama, but as a member of the Tide men's basketball program up in the air. When we hear the latest, any kind of statement coming from Nate Oates, University of Alabama, we will certainly pass it along. Pass along good news when it comes to folks that we deal with here in this area. And we got so many great partners that you, the Great Jocks listeners, have been loyal to over the years. One of those is The Garage. The Garage in Pelham, thegarageinpelham.com. But Bob is the owner. You got Robert and Richie, and I talk about them, and you walk into that professional, clean lobby where you're not going to mind your wife, your girlfriend, your daughter, your significant other going in there because they're going to be treated with the respect that they deserve, and they're going to be comfortable. So it's not going to be a dingy, dirty garage and what maybe you would stereotype that you would find in certain automotive repair places. You're not going to find that here. And at the Garage, they're going to warranty the work they do, whether it's tires, whether it's an oil change, or now that we got the warmer weather, it will be coming back. I know today is kind of the anomaly, but AC checks. They got 4 new diagnostic testing machines, and they have the ability to replace, add, whatever, even the newest coolant. So if you're worried about that, they're up on the cutting edge of all of that stuff, but also just the 5-star ratings. Folks from Montgomery, Crane Hill, still bringing their cars to be serviced by the Garage in Pelham. I wouldn't recommend them if I didn't believe that they were going to take care of you. Thegarageinpelham.com, thegarageinpelham.com. When you get in there, tell Bob, Robert, Richie that Landrum from Jock sent you.
So, when the brackets came out yesterday, and they started with the East bracket because Duke is the number 1 overall seed, and there was not one SEC team in the East bracket. And I'm like going, okay, so now you're going to have to farm out 10 SEC teams across 3 brackets. It kind of struck me as odd. But, man, when you look at the East Regional, which features Duke, St. John's, Kansas, Michigan State, UConn, and UCLA, that's an overload of blue bloods when you take a look at college basketball. Duke and UConn are in the same bracket. One of those teams, they have made each of the last 4 Final Fours. Since 2022-23, the Blue Devils and Huskies both have 121 wins. That's tied for second most wins in Division I over that time span. Also kind of laughed because in the East bracket, UCLA's Mick Cronin is going to be forced to fly across the country and play in Philadelphia. And Molly pointed this out to me, and I didn't even think of it. That should be a really fun post-game press conference.
Yeah.
As UCLA.
Yeah, whoever loses that game, that's an appointment press conference for me.
Who are they playing? Do you have the bracket right in front of you?
Yeah, I mean, UCLA?
Yeah, in the first round.
Yeah, they're going to Philadelphia.
They play UCF.
UCF. Okay. Okay.
And then you could have, UConn. And
Not an easy game.
No.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. You could have have that travel and then lose the first round.
But just seeing Mick just complain. Like, he got a tech this weekend during the Big Ten tournament. He honestly didn't know he got a tech. Like, he's just being, and honestly, he was not being demonstrative. I mean, he was just, I guess he might have said the magic word.
I bet he said the magic word.
Yeah, and then he got teed up and just didn't really realize that. 17 of the last 18 national champions have either been named UConn or been a number 1 seed. Second seed Villanova back in 2016 is the only one team that bucked that trend. That's amazing. When you look at the West region, you got Gonzaga. They have won a game in 16 straight NCAA tournaments, the longest active streak of any team. 16,
it's a good stat.
That's cool.
16 in a row. The Bulldogs are the number 3 seed out in the West region. How about Miami of Ohio? They got in. They lose their tournament, but they get in. They became the first MAC school to receive an at-large bid since Miami did it themselves 27 years ago. That's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Santa Clara is back in the big dance for the first time in 30 years. Steve Nash was a senior on the team the last time the Broncos made the NCAA tournament back in 1996.
Man.
Canadian Steve Nash.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. This is really cool. Former Bama assistant and South Florida head coach Brian Hodson. He was a foster kid in Buffalo, New York. His dad suffers from dementia. Since he's been the head coach at South Florida, his father has never been able to watch him in person. On Thursday, his dad will be in attendance for their first NCAA game.
Love it.
So how cool is that?
Really, really cool.
Very, very cool. First four schedule gets underway tomorrow night. First game tips off at 5 o'clock. It will be University of Maryland, Baltimore County. They will take on Howard. Then the nightcap will be the 11 seed Texas taking on number 11 NC State. Then on Wednesday will be Prairie View A&M versus Lehigh, and then Miami of Ohio versus SMU. And I think that's about, 50 miles away from campus, if I'm not mistaken, Miami of Ohio.
I don't know, but that's a good guess.
Yeah, I think it's under 60 miles. So I guess if traffic's good, you could get there within an hour. So I would think that would be a Miami of Ohio home game.
I would think so. Just overall, when I looked at the bracket pertaining to the SEC, I know what we just saw with Florida, but what we've seen down the stretch, I feel like Florida, it's carved out for them. Just looking at potential matchups. And I know that potentially they're going to face Vanderbilt again, right? But I think that you want that if you're Todd Golden. You had that stretch of games. You were dominant in most of those games. You lose to Vanderbilt, you kind of check yourself, because the last time that they did this, it was a loss to Auburn. They're in Gainesville, and we saw how that team responded. I think it's perfect timing.
Yeah, it's definitely not the worst thing. The worst thing that could happen to you. And how great would it be if potentially, I know it's different teams to a certain degree, but potentially in the Elite Eight to get to a Final Four, you could have a rematch with Houston of last year's national championship game. So that'd be great. That'd be a lot of fun.
Also, I like Texas's ability to score and how they can score at times versus NC State and what they offer defensively. I think the Horns punched their ticket to that next day.
Also, when it came out, the thing that just jumped out at me immediately was you have Arkansas, the winner of the Southeastern Conference. They get a 4 seed, and you send them to Portland, Oregon.
They got screwed.
Meanwhile, the University of Missouri, that's a 10 seed, they get placed 2 hours away from campus in St. Louis. I understand that there's certain things that the committee has to do to move things around, and I guess there's a lot of moving pieces. It's like working a Rubik's Cube, and you think you got one side of it fixed, then all of a sudden the other sides are all screwed up. I get it. But, man, that just jumped out to me. And it also reminded me of back when Alabama got shipped out west. And it worked out pretty well for Alabama. Alabama went to Spokane. Then after Spokane, they ended up in Los Angeles. And then they found themselves in the Final Four.
That's right.
So I know John Calipari tweeted this morning that he loves Portland. He mentioned some player that he recruited at one time that played for him from Portland. He said Portland's a beautiful city. He, hates that it's so far away from campus, but he took the high road. Our guest tomorrow, Ty Richardson, ESPN Radio out in Arkansas. He will be joining us on the road. He is already en route, driving from Fayetteville, Arkansas to Portland, Oregon.
Did he fill up before the gas prices went up, I wonder?
He's driving?
He's driving.
Oh, poor Ty.
No, you don't say poor Ty. Unless something happened and fell through with the reservations on his plane ticket. No, Ty wants to do this. Don't poor Ty.
He's probably going to play golf on the way up there.
Exactly.
Right. He told me he's taking his sticks.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
You're okay. You're right. Yeah,
Maybe he's going to stop at like every
state on the way and play golf.
Like
hey, you never believe who I saw on the course today. Brian Harston and his wife.
Yeah, maybe so.
So he will join the program tomorrow as Arkansas. I like Arkansas to make some noise.
Ooh, do you?
I do.
I'll tell you what, the potential Arkansas-Wisconsin matchup,
Arkansas-Wisconsin, that scares me.
that'll be a lot of fun, though.
If I'm an Arkansas fan.
Wisconsin looked good over the weekend.
But to me, Florida is carved out nicely. Alabama, even without Aiden Holloway, I think Hofstra and then potentially Texas Tech, they're fine there.
Well, and you look at Texas Tech, for example, right? They're going to be without their best player. It'd be the equivalent of Alabama playing without LeBaron Philon, and you're still going to have him.
Yeah. FSU Dave just texted in, and I was right. It is it's actually 42.7 miles for Miami of Ohio's campus to Dayton, Ohio. I said 50 miles. So, yeah.
It's an easy drive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 42 and a half if you use the new thoroughfare, but if you go the old way, it's closer to 50.
Mm-hmm.
You come in the back way. Bob Miller's nursery.
All right, we will start the week with some Pat Ponders. That's next.
Three-man front. We continue on this reaction Monday. Pat ponders the first edition of the week. Who knows? Do we get an impromptu question following the arrest of one Aiden Holloway? You know, to wait and see. But first.
Well, many of you have asked about it, and yes, it is returning thanks to our friends at Twin Peaks. The $1 Million Bracket Challenge has returned for another year here on Jocks. Pick a perfect bracket and win $1 million. Hit 60 games correct and score $10,000. The top local bracket is guaranteed to get a $250 Twin Peaks gift card and a Stardome couples package. Enter by this Thursday at 10:59 a.m. at jocksfm.com. And a quick reminder that we will be broadcasting live both Thursday and Friday from Twin Peaks and Hoover. Hope you can come out and see us.
Thought-provoking, if you've been smoking, toking, this is what we call Pat Ponders.
I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
It's time for Pat Ponders.
All right, question number one. I need you to get your bracket out, your fancy bracket that you've already filled out, ready to go. Name the national champion. No, I'm not asking you that. I just meant your bracket.
Hofstra.
I need you to give me two teams that are not seeded number one or number two that you could potentially see making the Final Four. Non-1 or 2 seeds. Give me two of them.
I submit to you Illinois.
So quick out of the gate with Illinois.
Based on the SEC tournament, I want to say Arkansas.
Okay, there's one. Give me another one.
I'll go Michigan State.
Okay, Tom Izzo making it to the Final
I mean,
Four.
it's Izzo.
I'm going to go crazy here. I'm going to give you 2 5 seeds.
Woo!
St. John's.
Okay.
Duke's a little injured. I know they're expecting Foster to come back potentially, but I know they're a little banged up with 2 starters being out. I like the way the rest of the bracket would shake out for them. A lot of momentum. And then, similar to Arkansas for Molly, I'm going with Wisconsin because you have to get by Arizona. I think Arizona's maybe the most susceptible of the 1 seeds right now. Wisconsin played really good basketball over the weekend, so I'll go Wisconsin and St. John's.
And I'll go with what I said, and I said this when you asked a question like this 3-4 weeks ago. Because if they repeat what they did in Nashville, I don't see anybody could stand in their way, and it's Vanderbilt at 5. It's the way they're built.
Could you imagine that? I mean, it's been a great year for them. I mean, the football team was great. Men's basketball is great. Women's basketball is one of the best teams in the country. Could be a very special
Baseball might be
spring.
off just a peg.
I know, and who would have thought that of all the sports that might be bringing you down a little bit, it'd be the baseball team.
That's true.
And certainly not the softball team.
No.
Question number 2. While historically considered a breach of unwritten etiquette and seen as disrespectful to pitchers, bat flipping and extra celebrations have become a staple, and it's more accepted now in the World Baseball Classic. Do you like the additional emotion in these games, and would you like to see more of it in Major League Baseball's regular season?
I like the emotion when it comes down to country and pride. I like to see it during the Ryder Cup. I think that's really cool. We customarily don't get to see that because it's more team golf. I'm okay with it here. I don't want to see it constantly throughout the Major League season because I know what that leads to. Benches clearing, people getting suspended, and ultimately my guys miss time.
Okay, before I answer, did y'all see the Tennessee guy over the weekend? Tennessee was playing Georgia, I believe, and dude thinks he hits a go-ahead home run in the top of the 9th, gets robbed at the wall. He did a huge bat flip, whole celebration, and then gets robbed and has to walk off. It was hilarious. I think in certain situations, if you hit a walk-off home run or we're in the postseason, I'm all here for it. Like when Jose Bautista did that bat flip all those years ago, that's an awesome moment. But I'm with you. I don't need every time you hit a home run that you're there marveling at it and doing the whole thing. Save it for special occasions. You win a game. It's a big postseason moment, sure, but not 162 games out of the year now.
No, I agree. High pressure, like high emotion situations, like something like the postseason or the World Baseball Classic, but not like willy nilly. Got to be something special.
Well, I look at Acuna's home run trot, and then he's about to hit third base, and then he does the stop and the kind of restart, whatever. I would take exception to that. I like it because he's my player, but I just start thinking about retaliation and what that potentially looks like. I need you healthy. I need you not suspended.
But players are soft now, Landrum. They don't hit people.
No, they're not going to throw at anybody because they all have the same agents. They ain't going to do that. That's the part of the game that I mean, in the old days, you used to be able to police it. Now you can't.
You like the emotion in the World Baseball Classic?
Yeah, I do. Now, caveat. I don't like it when someone strikes somebody out in the third inning and yells at the other dugout.
No.
I'm not in favor of that.
No, I'm not either.
Now, I mean, if you want to yell at your catcher, great. But when you stare at the other dugout and do that, back in the old days, you're getting one in the ear hole. Bob Gibson, Doc Gooden wasn't putting up with that.
No.
I can promise you that.
Well,
Roger Clemens and Nolan Ryan would buzz one up top in a heartbeat too.
No, you're right. Bring it back. I agree.
Just let them police it. That's all.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
Next question. Juan Soto of Team Dominican Republic, after losing to USA, said his team proved to the world that they were the best baseball team. If these two teams played a 7-game series instead of the 1 game last night, who are you taking, USA or the Dominican Republic to win 4 out of the 7?
First of all, Juan Soto, that's what most losers say.
He probably thought the Mets were the best team in baseball last year.
I'll give the Americans the edge, but I think it goes 7.
That's what I was going to say. I think
USA.
4-3, especially if the caveat, like if we get Scooble for that too.
Oh, yeah.
And you can throw Skeens twice or Scooble twice and then have one go the other game. Yeah, I like America 4-3.
USA.
That'd be a great
Is that
series.
4-3 or are you calling 4-0?
4-0.
There you go.
I think you should be able to draft one player off another team's roster if their birthplace, country of origin was your place. So go and find somebody who was born in the United States that's team's been eliminated that we could add to our lineup for the championship game. And Italy can do the same since they've essentially done that anyway.
So we could go get Ohtani?
If you want Ohtani, we can get Ohtani. But he was not born here.
No, I know that's what I'm saying. We'll figure out.
But
the
he pays
document.
taxes.
We
here.
can figure out
We'll figure
logistics.
out
But
the
he'll look
documentation.
great in warm-ups, and they're in the dugout.
We'll figure out the birth
Speaking a
certificate
little bit of English. How much English is he rolling out these days?
I mean, he's doing a little better, right?
Who has advanced further in their Rosetta Stone course? Has it been Shohei Ohtani or Ronald Acuna Jr.?
Acuna.
Really proud of Ronald.
You can tell that he's
He has
trying.
really tried.
Yeah.
He doesn't need that training wheel, that nice gentleman who works for the Braves anymore.
The trading wheel.
But he's still a part of the Braves.
Final question, courtesy of BB. A 65-year-old woman was brought into a cremation into a temple in Thailand where the procedure was to be live streamed.
Wait,
What?
her cremation.
That is correct.
Ugh.
Okie dokie.
I mean, to be fair.
Do you have to pay extra for that?
Yeah, let's make sure that, number one, they're cremating me. Number two, my family gets my actual ashes. I like this. And let's live stream it.
Okay. 65-year-old woman brought in for cremation for the temple in Thailand where the procedure was supposed to be live streamed. She had stopped breathing for 2 days prior and was pronounced deceased.
Oh, no, she was still alive.
However, moments before the ceremony, a faint knock was heard from inside the coffin. She apparently had been knocking for quite some time. Her untimely demise was averted. We've heard of stories before where people have re-alived after being pronounced dead. What do you think her first words were when she got out of the coffin?
It's the last time I take Ambien.
I'm back.
I'm back. Put me back in the casket.
You thought you could get rid of me.
How do you not breathe for 2 days?
I
and
heard
you're
what
still
you
alive?
said about me, Jerry.
That's a good one. That doesn't make sense.
It never does.
No.
But interestingly
No.
enough, I think that this happens more frequently than you think there in Thailand.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'll give you that. 2 days without. Like, how are you alive?
Obviously,
I said Thailand.
Obviously, the
Thailand.
doctor didn't do a good inspection.
I'm just
I guess.
spitballing here, but I mean, if this is going to be a live cremation, that it's not a regular. I mean, it's just a wood box. I mean, it's not airtight.
No, true, but I thought the question said that she had been pronounced dead and hadn't been breathing for
Well, she
2
had
days.
been.
Said she had stopped breathing for 2 days prior and was pronounced deceased. So obviously, when they checked her,
See, that tells me they checked her one time and then that
Yeah.
was it, and then they just threw her in a box.
yeah,
I was going like, what if it's the wrong person?
Oh.
Like they put the wrong person in there and they were still alive. But I don't know how that would
could you
happen.
imagine you watching that live streamed?
Oh,
That'd be incredible. It's a miracle.
all
Honestly, that's probably not the weirdest thing that happened in Thailand that day either. So
What else do you think went on in Thailand that day? That was odd.
I've heard stories.
great. Well, I guess we don't get the sectional or the armoire.
Hold off on the china cabinet.
You imagine you're standing there, you're saying your last goodbyes. Talking about me like I'm dead.
It's a fascinating place over there. Just see videos of some of the interactions that you'll have with people on
Was
the
that
streets
Hangover?
of-
Was Hangover?
Yes,
in
where
one of
they
those?
are. I believe that was in Thailand. The second one.
Okay.
I believe that was where they have the. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's today's Pat Ponders. What a great way to start the week here on Three Man Front.
Yes. It's good. She's alive. It's awesome. A lot of your texts, we'll get to those. 3-Man Front continues on Jocks.
It is 1:51. It's been an interesting afternoon. Had a snowstorm mid-show. About 15 minutes into the show, Aiden Holloway was announced that he was arrested in Tuscaloosa. Still no word from Nate Oates or the University of Alabama in regards to an official statement or the likelihood of him playing on Friday against Hofstra in round one.
I guess you don't get the we're aware of the legal situation statement when I guess it's obvious that everyone
Is aware of this.
is aware.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, hey, coach should be tonight. If you were thinking of the next when he might have an opportunity to address the situation.
Let's go to Conrad in Birmingham. Conrad, you got a question for Coach?
Don't know if they'll be taking live phone calls on the show tonight.
Coach, did they mention what kind of strain they found or how it was grown?
So if I wanted to get my hands on some of that,
Yeah, a lot of interesting texts rolling in. Let's get to them, shall we? 205-834-9450. Conrad, feel free to jump in and read any of these that you would like.
I think you got it.
Nah, teamwork makes the dream work, right? Going back to Pat Ponders, the question about the lady doing her best Lazarus. Guess they don't embalm in Thailand? I don't know. Someone asking, is Aiden Holloway Canadian? Don't believe so.
Would that change anything about this? No, he's from Charlotte.
He is from Charlotte. I gave you my theory off the air about his future, but we'll keep that here. I haven't heard if you all said what is meant by the tax stamp. That's a pretty big felony charge. That doesn't look good. That's from Fat Joe. Tax stamp, we're guessing, has to do with the narcotics, tobacco. Because I did a brief search for the state of Alabama, and that's what it generally pertains to.
Yeah, my
If you're
understanding
trafficking those.
was if there is an intent to distribute it, that you have to apply the tax stamp to it. Basically saying that not doing that, you're buying the marijuana without paying a tax on the marijuana. And that is also a fence.
And maybe that comes into play now because you do have some sort of legal form of dispensing of cannabis for medical reasons here in the state of Alabama?
Yes, that's possible. But yeah, I would think in layman's terms, it's essentially tax evasion from the narcotics.
This one reads, I'm a huge Alabama fan. With these players making NIL money, there's no need for breaking the law. Throw him off the team.
That was my whole thing, is you're making who knows how much money to play basketball and get an education, and you still feel the need to potentially make money on the side or something. I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
Jason sending us in the March Madness three-man front show appetizers. Made his own pork skins. Nice.
Yeah, those look good.
I love pork skins. You get the Louisiana hot sauce flavored ones. Ooh. Someone asking, have you guys ever seen a pound of weed? That's not the amount you typically see for personal use. I've never seen a pound of weed.
I have never seen a pound of weed, but it's
I imagine that's a lot. But let's just say you do have disposable income. What if you just said, you know what? I don't want to do this a bunch of different times. Let me just get enough that, in this case, I don't know.
If you told me Snoop Dogg had a pound of weed,
This will take me through a year and a half. I don't.
yeah, maybe. It's a lot. A lot.
So the question is, Alabama's tournament chances, are they up in smoke with this Aiden Holloway news? The story at 10. All right, we'll have plenty on this tomorrow. Any reaction from Nate Oates, University of Alabama? As we get ready, it's tournament time, folks. Three-man front.